Welcome to the Art Institute of Pittsburgh's online division. I'm Mary Catherine Ferguson, your instructor for Introduction to the Visual Arts. What I would like to do today is take you on a brief tour of our classroom. In part, success in the class is dependent upon seamless navigation of this classroom. Should you need additional guidance above and beyond what is covered in this video, please don't hesitate to contact me via email. This week, the first thing you're going to want to do is go to the announcements. In fact, each time you log into the class, that's the place you want to go. For example, this week you can see that I've included an announcement including my contact information and an announcement on our week 1 agenda. Each week I have an agenda that covers the due dates for any assignments due, as well as some brief tips on how to get started that week. In addition to looking at the announcements when you first log into our course, make sure you go to the course home, designated by this blue font, and read through the syllabus, academic expectations, academic resources, questions for the professor, readings and assignments, and your portfolio starts now in the multimedia library. Now, when you first get into the classroom and you encounter academic expectations, please note that after you've read through the information provided here, which includes very important information that affects anyone and everyone involved in the Art Institutes of Pittsburgh's online division, you see attendance information, critique guidelines, policy on plagiarism, course materials, disability information, communications, etc. After reading through this information, please scroll down, click on the respond button, and type that you have reviewed this information and also include any questions or concerns that you have. Also note that anytime you respond to a discussion thread, you'll see a subject line, and it's always helpful to designate in that subject line your name and what your response is based on. So I might put Mary Catherine's response to expectations. Okay, since I'm not actually leaving that, I'm going to cancel that. And I'll show you in a minute, but when you type in that box, you need to make sure that you press post. Okay, another area that's important under course information you're going to want to check out is questions for the professor. Here you can ask any kind of questions related to the content of the class, whether it's specific to assignments, weekly readings, navigation of the classroom, etc. What you can't and don't want to ask in this area are questions related to information specific to you. For example, information related to why you've been absent, why you're turning in an assignment late, that you need to turn in an assignment late, as well as grades. Please don't ask any questions of a personal nature, including those related to grades on assignments, in this forum. Should you have questions regarding grades or information that's more personal in nature, please click on the email box up here and email me directly. Also, take a look at the readings and assignments list. This gives you a broad overview of all the expectations, including readings and suggested readings, as well as assignment dates, titles, and deadlines. So for example, in week 1, you have the readings that are under week 1. Let's go there now. All of these readings are due this week. And then if you scroll down, the activities that are due this week are the course introductions, the week 1, assignment 1. And then notice that there's always going to be a problems and solution discussion thread in each week. You're always going to have this basic format. You're going to have the week designated by what number week it is, a series of required readings, the assignments, and then the week will end with this problems and solutions discussion. It's set up much like the question area for questions to the professor under our course home. However, if you have solutions, for example, if you notice that a student's having a hard time finding something in the classroom and you know where to locate it, you could include that information under your week 1 because it relates to the activities that the student is doing in week 1. You could also respond here specifically to any questions that you have about week 1 materials, whether it's readings or assignments. And again, you just click respond, type in the information, and then put a subject line and then post response. Now, one thing I want to caution you about when typing directly into these discussion boxes is that sometimes the system, the overall classroom, will time out, or goodness forbid, there's an electricity failure or a web a virtual loss in some way, shape, or form that causes the classroom to shut you out, you'll lose all that information you typed. So I always suggest when you're getting started and getting acclimated to everything else within the classroom that you type your responses in a Word document and save it so that you avoid that whole problem of spending too much time in the post box and then losing it if the system times out on you. Okay, another thing I want to point out here is the webliography. If you click here, occasionally you're going to come across assignments that reference the webliography. And the webliography is basically a group of additional supplementary sources that may or may not be helpful to you depending on what your choices are with certain assignments. So I just want to show you where that is. Also, tech support is right here. If you have questions for tech support, here's the information for students on campus and off. And then general help about how to navigate the course room and just general information about how the course is set up, you can click on the help button. Okay, so let's go back to the course home. So again, start with academic expectations. Make sure you've read all of that information and then reply to that thread. I would click on the readings and assignments because I closed this before I had a chance to point out that your required readings are always found within the week, the weeks that are listed over here. But then you'll see on the readings and assignment overview, there are suggested readings. And if you click on each of these, it will take you to those readings. If for some reason you do not get connected to the readings, that means that there's a disconnect between your classroom and the bookstore. So you're going to want to get in touch with the bookstore to discuss that. Okay, and that's pretty much it. I'm really excited to be working with you this term. I've been teaching art appreciation courses for close to 15 years at a variety of places, both in the ground classroom and online. I'm not an artist per se. I studied, one of my graduate degrees is in the history of art. So if I could be an artist, I would love to be, but since I wasn't given that gift, I decided to learn as much as I could about those who do have the gift. I also have an MFA in poetry, and you can learn more about my interest, my background, where I've been, where I am now, by clicking on the Week 1 Course Introductions. Scroll down. You're going to be leaving your own biography, and then you'll find mine. So with that, I look forward to working with you, and please feel free to email me at any time with any questions or concerns that you have. Thank you so much.